This week on Dear Bros, a dad tells his daughter she was never kind of wanted.
Oh.
Stay tuned.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
I'm Tim Fulton.
This is Dear Bros. Dear Bros, where we rip advice columns from somebody else and we pretend that somebody wrote it to us. This week's Dear Bros is Tim's. Tim, let's see what you have.
We didn't want you.
That's
So
fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you for this episode. So I read this one, and it's like a serious one, but I was also dying laughing on the inside, which made me feel like a terrible person. So please, God, let me not be the only one.
No, I'm sure I'll laugh too.
All right. So the actual title of this one is Dad's Comment Stunned Grown Daughter.
I'm just going to listen.
Yeah. Dear Abby, I'm a 50-year-old woman, and this is the second time my dad has mentioned that he and mom thought about aborting me before I was born. He qualifies this statement by exclaiming, I just called to let you know I'm so glad your mother and I didn't go through with the abortion.
Wait,
And how
I have to read this. I just called to let you know I'm so glad your mother and I didn't go through with the abortion, and how happy I am that you are here. I made a phone call to let you know.
To let you know.
This guy's a drinking problem.
The thing is, until he said it, I never knew it had crossed their minds.
Wait, this is the second time?
Hold on. He knew this statement upset me, yet he brought it up again tonight in a phone call with even more disturbing information.
Oh, no.
That they had gone to a doctor to get it done. He uses subtle ways to sneak the new information in, even though he knows it hurts me. This is my favorite part. What is his motive? What does he want? Why does he do this?
Oh, my God.
I feel so bad for laughing because it's such a serious topic.
This poor lady.
But this is...
Perplexing Alabama. Sorry.
Why does he do this?
Sorry, Alabama.
Hey, Dad, how are you? I'm great, especially that we didn't kill you.
You know what this
Why,
is?
Father?
This guy
Why?
probably... It sounds like the dude feels bad that they thought about doing that or whatever because they didn't do it.
Yeah. I had a weird thought after the fact. I was thinking, like, this is even darker. Like, maybe he's, like, this is the onset of, like, dementia or something. Because that's weird. Why 50 years later would you turn around and be like, I'm so happy we didn't abort you?
There's a weird thing, and I'm sure, you know those, like, the old people don't give a fuck people?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that where I think after a while your world becomes so small that your circle gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So you think that those are the rules and everything abides by that. So you're not up on current events. You're not up on all this stuff. And you just are like, yeah, like we're going to do that. It's almost like, you know how when you ask people advice, there's that, ask for someone's advice, right? There's that weird line where it's like about you, but not about you. Where if you're like, yeah, I'm having this problem at work and I'm in a dilemma, and they're like, it's not your problem. And you're like, that is true, it's not my problem, but it's going to affect people. And they're like, it's not your problem. And you're like, yeah, that's correct. It is not my problem. But that does not change the fact that it will affect other people.
Yeah.
This is one of those, like, the guy's like, I feel bad or I want to get this off my chest.
So I'm good.
And someone was like, yeah, but how will that make your daughter feel? Not my problem. That's her problem. I feel bad. I need to say this, or I want to say this.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what is making him do it. Maybe he's wanted to tell you and he feels like he can't keep this secret anymore and he doesn't want to, like, go to the grave with that secret.
I wonder where the mother is. Because if the daughter's 50, again, not to be too dark, the mother could have since passed.
Yeah.
Not completely unreasonable.
Yeah, if the mother is still in the picture, I would say like ask her like what's going on.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, but even I would just ask him.
Why?
But she already said like this makes me feel. Wait, did she say that she told him, or she just? He knew that this statement upset me. Does that mean that she told him, or she just acted weird?
Pure speculation. I
Pure
would imagine
speculation.
she would be like, "Why are you telling me this?"
It could have just been like through signs.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, and like just expected a guy clearly not very aware of how things come off to pick up on those signs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. This is a rough one for her.
It is,
But
clearly.
If she could put emotion to the side, if I was her friend, the best way I could say to look at it would be, in that situation, you have to look at your parents or your father not as a 70-some-year-old person, but an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And that they don't like
does-
they don't have the connection to you the way that in the situation, and like there's certain parameters that were and were not factors back then. So the fact that he's saying this now, I guess looking back on it, because like it's not shattering to his world because he's always known it.
Yeah.
You haven't. So he's not looking at it from your perspective for whatever reason that this is like a groundbreaking, like, what the fuck kind of a thing. Because he's always known it.
Yeah. He's
So-
known it for 50 some odd years.
He's being kind of ignorant to the fact that like this might be a real heavy thing for you to deal with, and it should be dealt with kid gloves.
Well, they had to have known it at some point, because why wait 50 years? It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like the social awareness is gone, but it's like it slipped away. Granted, at what point do you tell a child this? Probably never is the correct answer. So that probably always played a part to it. But like,
Maybe he's always felt like he wanted to tell her, but now that he's getting older, he's like, if something happens to me, I might
Now's
not
the
get
time.
the chance.
yeah, I guess.
And he might have this weird thing that's like fantasized in his head about how she's going to be so happy to hear that they didn't, and be like, oh, thanks for not aborting me or whatever.
The story gets progressively worse.
Yeah. You know what I mean, though? Like, if...
You're lucky we got rid of the first one.
But you know how people can talk themselves
Yeah.
into some like bad situations by just continuously talking to themselves about it without asking somebody else. Where like people are like, I'm going to do this real romantic thing for this person I like, and then like 6 months later they do it, and it's like, oh, that's the creepiest fucking thing I've ever heard of.
I made $40 of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
I play with them nightly.
This guy,
Because I love you.
I would want to go to Thanksgiving dinner just to hear the shit that this guy says at the table.
Bro.
Because if he's telling his daughter this, he's got to have some better ones. Whew.
All right.
What's your advice? You didn't give me advice.
I don't have any. I got nothing here.
Touche, sir.
I got nothing. What do? You just kind of have to let the dice roll where they fall, or whatever the fuck saying is. Dear Perplexed, saying something one knows is hurtful is cruel. If you haven't discussed this bizarre scenario with your mother, you should. Could dear old dad be losing it? Is he seeking gratitude from you? Was he drunk when he made the call?
All things we talked about.
Yeah, it was. His behavior is so far from normal, I can't imagine why he would say such a thing twice. Because he may be trying to get a rise out of you, consider deflecting with humor or sarcasm, or simply hanging up.
I'm all about humor and sarcasm. I like that one.
Yeah, that's all we got.
That's familiar grounds there. Yeah. I'm aborting this conversation. Click.
This reminds me of the time your mother and I went to the... Nope, goodbye.
Anytime he starts talking about something inappropriate, just say abort. just always make it out to be like, or that's what you should do. Like from now on, do it at like, just imagine from now on every time there's a lull in the conversation. She's just like, gee, I'm so glad you didn't abort me.
I guess that's the way to go about it. You got to make it funny for yourself and everyone else.
Or like if she has a bad day at work, she should be like, if you aborted me, none of this would happen. I wouldn't have to deal with this job. Oh boy.
All right.
That's a dark one.
I know.
The
but
way
it was
she wrote it was kind of...
It was so good. What is his motive? What does he want? Why does he do this? The worst part is no one can tell her.
You know what?
Because it's so fucking
it's
weird.
really fucked up because she's clearly has no clue where this is coming from.
She doesn't even know where to begin.
It clearly is very devastating to her, and she doesn't even know what question to ask.
Yeah.
She's just throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks. He might be like semi losing it, or like just that general older person not give a fuck.
The older not give a fuck is a real thing, so it could be that too. Who knows?
Man, that's
This was a weird one.
that's a rough one. 50 years ago. So what year would that be? 1970?
Yeah.
Oh.
Possibly not late 1960s, because she said she's a 50-year-old woman.
Yeah, 50.
Or 50s. No, 50. Okay, so 70. 71.
71. 70. Yikes.
All right. Let us know in the comments section down below how you would handle this story. What would your advice to this woman be?
God.
Be kind. Don't forget to go to brodownpro.com. We're coming out with new stuff all the time. You can also make a submission to Dear Bros yourself, so we can stop ripping advice column questions. There's a little portal there. It's completely anonymous. If you choose to leave your email, we will let you know when the episode is going to air if we answer your question. Other than that, we're at this bitch.
Aborted.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.